Turns out Groose is up here. Yep, of course he would get out of there. Makes sense. You gotta get out of there and wail on Demise until he cries like a creepy little baby. I'm counting on you, Link. We all are. Yeah, the first time he talked to me, he said something different. He says, "Man, that was too close out there with Zelda. Do not panic. Zelda is fine. She rests in the back room of the temple. Focus on the battle at hand. Defeat Demise and save our world, Link." And unlike Groose, she does not have a separate line of text the first time, so she said the same thing she did when I talked to her the first time. I don't even know why I didn't talk to them both the first time on screen, but oh well. So we can't talk to Zelda right now. That would be kind of unusual, but although I guess you can talk to her during the final battle of both Ocarina of Time and in Wind Waker, right? Anyway, let's do this. I have my potions ready. Master Link, I have important information for you. Once you enter this portal, my analysis indicates a 0% chance that you will be able to return unless you are able to vanquish your foe. Are you ready to proceed? No, but oh yeah, I'm ready. Okay. Oh, thanks, Fi. Yeah, I've tried this more than once. The thing about this boss is, like, is it really difficult? I feel like you can either have a really easy time or a really difficult time. And my first two times, I failed hard. Third time, I was actually doing pretty well, but I didn't actually reset the game from the second time, so I didn't have any potions or anything. If I keep failing, I might get more potions. Hopefully that won't be an issue. So you've decided to meet your end in battle after all. It pleases me greatly to see such misplaced valor, human. Take a moment to appreciate your surroundings, for where we stand shall serve as your tomb for eternity. The hate for the gods that is boiled in my veins. In your hair, too, it looks like. You will taste all of it in the bite of my blade. That doesn't sound like a very tasty bite. The only question left is how long you will manage to remain standing before I take your life. Try to keep it interesting for me, would you? When you do fall, know that your world and everything in it is mine to dominate, mine to subjugate, mine to rule. I've read this cutscene several times, I still don't really understand what subjugate means. I probably should. Going to college, don't know simple words. Yeah, he said something about kin, he's gonna, when we die, then we can take solace in knowing that he's gonna wipe off everyone we know, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna say two things I like about this boss before getting into why I don't like it. I love his design, and I love his pre-boss, his pre-speech. He'll take the Triforce of his own, the whole world shall be under my foot for eternity. You know, I just realized that we have the Triforce now, and I still suck at this boss. And yeah, I really suck at this boss. Okay, this is Demise. The first part is actually not that bad. All you have to do is shield bash his attacks. You can't hit him more than once. He has actually many different attacks. He doesn't just do the same thing every time. What you can do, now, even when you shield bash him, you'll still get knocked back. Like, okay. Yeah, so definitely spin attack after you knock him back. Of course, Hylian Shield does not take any damage. Yeah, so play with the sound on, because that's the only way you're going to tell. Ah, really? Okay, I'll spin attack him there next time, too. Ah! I don't want to be taking too much damage in this phase. Because he only does one heart. I think he can do 2 hearts in this phase. That's my second point. There. Phase 1 is done. That's the easy part. Now is the more difficult part. There's a couple ways to do this. I don't really know. I just try to get lucky, honestly. Okay. When he's electrified, you actually want to stand back and wait for lightning to strike your sword. But if lightning doesn't strike your sword, then he'll just get it from you. Oh, I forgot to do that. Okay. The book doesn't mention this. The best strategy in this fight, and the book doesn't mention it. The last thing I like about this fight is the music. Ah! I haven't gotten a hit on him in this phase. That's so not good. I have to wait a little while. Yeah, you can't hit him after a shield bash in this phase. Oh, no, I had it. Fuck. You have to... I don't even get... I think you can't do a spin attack. You're supposed to spin when he does that. I haven't done anything right in this phase. I should be getting better, but I feel like I'm getting worse. Strike me, lightning. Strike me, lightning. Strike me, lightning. It's not working. There we go. There. You want to make sure you don't spin attack there. It's really stupid. Sometimes even if you don't shake the nunchuck, if you do it super fast, it registers as a spin attack. That will help you in the first phase, not here. Shoot, you stunned him. You did indeed stun him. I have the fairy, so I'm going to let that work itself. If you're close enough to him, then you can do a spin attack. Ah! You have to do that super quick if you want to get him the first time. Damn it! Well, I have a fairy, just in case of something like that. I never hate the potion system in this game more than I do now. Yeah, so... if you try to beat him any other way than this, he's friggin' impossible. You know what? I'm guessing that what he does is supposed to be a hint of what you should do. That's the first time I've ever used a potion and not had him hit me in the process. No. Yeah, he stunned me, but we also stunned him. Yes! What? No! I knew he was dead. I could have sworn. Yeah, what he does I think is just supposed to be a hint for you. Shit. No, I deflected that. Fuck you. You are a troll, sir. There. Go! Got him. A lot of people say that fight is easy. Okay. I think that the main problem they did was that they had one method to beat him that was okay easy. It's not even really that easy. I still had to use a fairy and a potion. And they had one method to beat him. Like, if you don't do that, it's like impossible. Pretty much. And the book doesn't tell you that. So, I think the first time I might have actually done that without beating him. Or beat him without doing that, I meant. Mix up my words. And the last thing I want to say when people say this boss is too easy, because I've seen that before, is compared to what? I know it might be be that long, like I beat him in what? 6 minutes? Extraordinary. He stands as a paragon. Fight like no man or demon I've ever known. This is not the end. My hate never perishes. It is born anew in a cycle with no end. So apparently his death causes Ganondorf. I guess that's the story. This is Ganondorf's previous form. This curse. What are you talking about? Being a hero is awesome. An incarnation of my hatred shall forever follow your kind, dooming them to wander a blood-soaked sea of darkness for all time. Well, we all know what that incarnation is. But for now, demise is gone. But he's right this time when he says it's not the end. So guys, we did it. We beat Skyward Sword 100%. I've confirmed the eradication of the Demon King. Remember Fi talked to us like this, like before we even started the game? His residential consciousness has been absorbed into the Master Sword and is now sealed away. You've done well, Link. Link. Thank you. I think it's over. Finally, it's all over. That reminds me of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, when Peach is just like, I want to go home. I'm like, it's all over, finally. Oh my god. Nice going, you two. You guys were totally amazing in this little adventure I like to call the Legend of Groose. That's a little joke. Joke or not, your contributions to this effort were heroic. You have my thanks. Ah, well, you know, I'm just glad I could make myself useful. I'm happy things turned out okay. Hey, so things look perfectly sewn up here. What do you say, guys? Ready to head back to our own time? Granny was really worried about you two. We don't want to keep the old girl in suspense too long. Hylia, your grace. Or perhaps you prefer Zelda. It pleases me to know you were safe. Master, I must speak with you. I know this is a lot of people's favorite part of the game when she leaves, but you know what? You know how I feel about Vi, so. Master Link, you have successfully protected the goddess reborn and defeated Demise, fulfilling your role as hero of legend. My purpose here is complete. Therefore, I ask you to dissolve our arrangement as master and servant. Drive the sword into the pedestal before you, and I will return to the sword to enter a sleep without end. But your talents could be used, like so much. Master, you have achieved the purpose you were chosen to fulfill. Please set the sword in the pedestal and bring the goddess's mission to an end. Now, Master, it's time to conclude our necessary companionship. I still think it's weird how Zelda's a goddess in this game. I've never really gotten over that. So, if Hyrule... So Hyrule is technically named after Zelda because Zelda's name was Hylia, and Hyrule is named after Hylia. So Hyrule is indeed named after Zelda. I remember talking to this person who's trying to say he knew something about Zelda, and he's like, I said, do you even know where it takes place? He's like, yeah, Zelda-topia. But I guess that, in a way, even though that's not correct, Hyrule is named after Zelda. I've never really thought about that before. Was Zelda always that short? Or maybe Groose is just really tall. Wait, Vi's not done. Link. That's the first time she's called us anything besides Master. Link, hear me. My purpose was to obey the command of the goddess and lead you, the chosen hero of this land, on your quest. When I first awoke and began this task, I perceived it as merely serving my function as a servant to her grace. However, I've come to consider the information corresponding to our time together among the most precious data I have on record. She enjoyed it. I do not have the capability to fully understand the human spirit, Link. But now, at the end of my journey with you, as I prepare to sleep within the Master Sword forever, I experience a feeling I am unable to identify. I lack sufficient data to be sure of my conclusion, but I believe what this feeling correlates is closest to what your people call happiness. Well, speaking of, you know what? This is all fine, but I don't know. You know, CJS01 doesn't think this excuses Vi, because he thinks it's just a rip-off of Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, this part. I gotta say, I agree with that. You know, I mean, you already did the whole thing about taking the princess for the demon, and hell, you already did that in Spirit Tracks. I mean, I love Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, but come on. Alright. You know, don't worry about it, Vi. I love you. I'll always love you. Thank you, Master Link. May we meet again in another life. Nah, I love that. Hopefully in Smash Brothers as the new thing. Like the Metal Gear thing. Remember that idea I had a long time ago? I realized that during mainly the second half of this LP, I didn't really show off Fi as much. Sorry about that. What? Impa, why? Come with us. Zelda, Your Grace, you possess the memories of the goddess. You must understand why that is not possible. I am a being of this age. My place is here. I know that, but wait a minute. If Zelda's the goddess, wouldn't her place be here too? Well, I guess goddesses kind of live on forever. But I guess if goddesses live forever, then couldn't she choose to live anywhere? Zelda, at the command of the goddess, I passed through the gate of time. I did so to protect you and aid the fight to prevent the world's destruction. The last remnants of demise are decaying slowly with the sword. Someone must stay behind to watch over this blade. His spirit must not reawaken. He must never be allowed to threaten the world again. This is the nature. A member of the Sheik, goddess's chosen guardians. I gladly welcome this duty. Okay. As long as you don't start playing Zelda's Lullaby now, it's fine. For some reason, the copyright people really don't like that song. I mean, I guess they like it so much that whenever I have a video where there's a cutscene with Zelda and Zelda's Lullaby plays, I get a copyright claim. I'm not kidding. So you know what? In fact, I'm gonna kind of do a test. Da 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 da. Let's see what happens. Is it playing right now? I don't think so. Seems like Zelda's more attached to Impa than she is to me. Well, they did go through a lot together. I don't know, I've always kind of put yourself in Zelda's shoes. This strange old woman shows up, saves you, takes you around the world on a grand adventure that you have such great time in, and then she locks you in a room for 1,000 years. I guess if you're sleeping, it's not that bad. Oh no, here it is! Zelda's Lullaby, yep. Wait a minute. Do you see that? Yeah, I saw it before they zoomed in on it. But I didn't see it the first time. It's just that when you look for things, you tend to see them more. But what does that mean? So yes, Granny was Impa all along. See? I told you we'd meet again. I mean, she does watch over the sword for all time, so it's not that surprising. Bruce also had an attachment to her. Poor Link is like the only one here that doesn't have that big of an attachment to Impa. Now the sword will sleep for all time, forevermore. I think Bruce is just really tall. I mean, he's much taller than Link, too. Not just because of the hair, either. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Well, guys, I guess this is the time to talk about this. This LP's gone on for quite a while, but now it's over, and I certainly feel accomplished. First Zelda LP I've done in one go. Okay, so here's all the staff, people who worked so hard to bring you this game. Yeah, pretty much one guy takes all the credit and all the blame, but you know what? A lot of people worked hard on this. Programming director, yeah, so this would be the time where I, talked about the total amount of new feature count. I kind of abandoned that. Not really abandoned it, but, just kind of stopped putting so much stock in it. I think that the main thing I was trying to do is show you that a lot of little things can add up and make a big difference. And then after that, I think that now I would add, I was planning to add, every single new location all clump it into one. Every single new character and I'll get it into one, and the brand new story and get it into one, and that should be way more, but so if you're really gonna say that this game is the same old thing, then you're probably not a true Zelda fan, and you don't understand what makes the series so great. And you probably wouldn't have watched this far in the Let's Play. So now, I really like this. This is where you get to see what Zelda did when we were chasing after her in the first half of the game. When she was praying at each of the goddess statues. So, I already missed kind of a couple of it, but I saw her outside of the Earth Temple, and in the Earth Temple. You know, Zelda's she's a child in this game. She's so young. I mean, I don't want to say, what her age probably is, but I don't know. You know what I just realized? I think that Skyward Sword is the first Zelda game ever where you're adult Link throughout the entire game. Because, I mean, honestly, in Ocarina of Time, you're young Link for half of it. In Twilight Princess, you're a wolf for half of it. You're an adult wolf. And then, in every other game, you're just a younger version of Link. That's not true. Zelda 2, I think, is supposed to be a young adult, kind of like the thing in this game. Okay, first, game where you can actually really tell. I guess Zelda 2, you can tell that it's an adult, but, Link to the Past is definitely a young Link. Zelda 1, I have no idea. Game Boy game, Minish Cap, definitely a young Link. So now we just get to see. I wish there were more cutscenes with Zelda, but we get to see all of the worlds in the brilliant art direction. There's the Skyview Temple. I really love the temples in this game, especially that one. You know what really pisses me off? I didn't mention this, but Zelda Dungeon does this thing called Dungeon Reviews, and I thought that was really cool, but then I read the Skyward Sword Reviews dungeons, and he says the guy that reviewed the dungeons said the dungeons in the first half of Skyward Sword were really good, but the second half they weren't as good, and he said he didn't really like it, and I've got to be like, are you kidding me? I just disagree. I like all the dungeons in this game, but the second half is the best, in my opinion. I'll kind of give my own review for every dungeon right now. I mean, what else am I going to do besides talk about my next project, which I don't even know at this point. But, I never went back and did that. Oh, well. Skyview Temple is definitely my least favorite, but it's fine for a first dungeon. The Orc Temple is great. It's just a little short, and that's the reason why I prefer the Fire Sanctuary. I'll get into that later. I really like the ball rolling mechanic, and I like how you do a bunch of different puzzles in the one big room. I love how you can put the bombs back into the bomb bag. The Lanayru mining facility is okay. It has a few annoying parts to it, but overall I like the design with the electricity, and it definitely has my favorite music out of all the dungeons in the game when you're in the past. When you're in the present, I get it. It's kind of annoying. When you're in the past and Lanayru mining facility, the music is incredible. Speaking of the devil, there's the Earth Temple right there. Oh yeah, I should be talking about the boss fights too. Skyview Temple was a pretty good first boss fight, kind of challenging. Earth Temple, not a very well designed boss fight. I'm not really. Lanayru mining facility, I think, had a good boss fight. Ancient Cistern, what do I have to say about the Ancient Cistern that I haven't said already? It is beautiful. And then, they're really jumping around here. The Ancient Cistern is beautiful, and at the same time, like, you know, with the shadow basement, it is awesome. I really wish more dungeons in the future. I hope more dungeons will do what it does in the future Zelda games. And, you know, the whip isn't that great of an item later on, but in the dungeon it's used well, especially during the Galactos boss battle, which is the Galactos boss battle. It is amazing. I'm so glad that that was the one that I got to show again when I got the highlighted shield. I believe that this song right here is actually like, isn't that the one that plays, like, the other part of Zelda's Lullaby backward? Like, what does the other song go backward? Because it's like, I think it is. Yeah, because it ends like, da 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 da, and the Zelda's Lullaby is like, da 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 da. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then the rest of the dungeon reviews. Sandship, you know, I don't know what to say about that one. The Sandship is my second favorite dungeon of all time in Zelda's series. And it is just one of the best things ever. Fire Sanctuary is great. I was really worried when I first played this Fire Sanctuary because I thought I was kind of like, oh, after these two amazing dungeons, now I'm just going to get a generic fire dungeon. But it didn't disappoint at all. Fire Sanctuary was great. And then the Sky Keep, which I thought was really ingenious and really well designed. So that's my opinion on all the dungeons of this game. I forgot to talk about the boss fights. Tantalus, not the best, but it was a pretty good boss fight. Second Girahim, you know, I guess that we'd already had one generic fire-type boss. We didn't need another. And then, of course, there's the Imprisoned, which, that's the one thing. I mean, if you're going to say I suck at Demise, and a lot of people don't, I am fantastic at the Imprisoned fights, and you have to, maybe, I forget how I did on them during the LP, but I was virtually flawless whenever I was doing them in the boss rush mode, and I wasn't showing it, so if I have to say the one thing, is I feel like I'm really good at those fights. I think I want to live here. I always want to feel solid ground beneath my feet. See the clouds above my head and watch over the Triforce. What about you, Link? What will you do now? It's because of Colin, isn't it? He snuck into your room one too many times. I know. Oh no, it's not because of Colin. It's because of your dad. You can hear him bathing in the next room, and that's just unsettling. And you see Waftwings down in the bottom world. Yay. The end! We did it! Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do in the future. At the time of recording this, I still have not uploaded everything from Metroid Other M, but that LP is as good as done. This LP and Metroid Other M are conveniently ending at the same time. Okay, now, oh shoot, you know what I totally forgot? I have 7 minutes of footage before this. Shoot, I might just make that its own video, actually. Like, however short it is, and I'll promise the next one will be longer. That's what I'll do. Okay, I will now start doing Mario Superstar Baseball regularly, and I don't know if I really want a second LP right now, because, you know, I'll be starting college. I might just start doing one LP at a time. There are a couple games I want to do, but not totally. You can play in Hero Mode again using this save data. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do, because I have a backup file, so if I ever want to just roam around the world, then I can do that. Yeah, because I have a backup file, like I said. That's the beautiful thing about the backup file. I don't have to delete all my progress, or, you know, most of it. I can still, like, roam around the whole world. Okay. I will tell you now what Hero Mode is. Okay, I'm going to read it straight out of the book. Every enemy in the game does double damage. Yes, that means enemies who could attack you and do a full 2 hearts of damage to you in the regular game can do 4 hearts of damage in Hero Mode. Hey, it can do math. They call it Hero Mode for a reason. You cannot ordinarily gather hearts anywhere. Not from enemies, not from pots, not growing wild. The only way to make hearts spawn as they do in the regular game is to carry the heart medal. And they should have took out the chairs. That would have been something. When you acquire the true Master Sword, you no longer have to charge time before launching a Skyward Strike. That is, simply tilting your Wii Remote briefly into a vertical position makes you instantly be able to fire a sword beam, just like the final boss fight with the lightning strike. Certain lines of dialogue change. You must discover which ones for yourself. Some of the secrets in Hero Mode must be earned. You can skip all cutscenes, even when watching them for the first time. If you can make it to the Thunder Dragon's lightning round, you can play through a special 12-stage boss rush that includes a fight with Demise. So that is, I guess, the ultimate minigame, and that's really one of the few differences in actual gameplay. And then here's what's not in Hero Mode. The story and ending are basically the same. If you play Hero Mode, do it for the challenge. The dungeon layouts, game flow, and puzzles remain basically the same. This isn't a master quest. I said basically, so maybe they put in like a few more enemies or something. Enemy placement is largely the same. When everything does double damage, the default locations are dangerously enough. The items are the same, though you may find you suddenly care a lot more about having and using Guardian Potions. And that's about it. Okay, I will not be doing Hero Mode. I can't believe people still ask Nintendo Caprice on that, or they did at the time. Okay, that's it. See you guys in the next one.